the notes. So on to the videos. This is fun stuff, and as you can see, I'm having a good time playing my Mr. Rogers role here in this video series, sharing with you some resources. Am I playing the Mr. Rogers role or the Reading Rainbow role? I don't know. Anyways, old school with the VHS tape, man. Check it out. Luis Conte, live at PASIC. This video came out, this was back in 1996. That doesn't even sound right for me to say this is way back in. It wasn't even that long ago. But for some of you that were 2 or 3 years old when that came out, maybe it was a long time ago. All right. So anyways, Luis Conte, good friend of mine, musical mentor, hero. This is an educational video, but it's also quite entertaining. So he goes over some rhythms in this video, but for me, it's Luis Conte. So, you know, legendary musician with over 4,000 recordings. Hey, what more needs to be said? So another one. Now this, I'm asked from time to time to give lessons to help students, people, even those that are more experienced with soloing, with phrasing, with developing their own language on the drum, their personality through the drum. And this one by LP, Drum Solos Revisited, is a classic. This is a legendary and pioneering video in the world of Conga educational resources, especially as it pertains to DVDs and videos. Thank you, Martin Cohen and the LP team, for pioneering for so many years these resources. This has several people such as Pedrito Martinez. I mean, wow, Pedrito Martinez. So, I mean, Little Johnny Rivero, Samuel Torres, Jimmy Delgado. Man, it goes on and on. There's about 15 artists that are featured on here, and it's all about soloing on the congas, the timbales. Man, this is good stuff right here. Ralph Irizarry, Eric Velez, wow, Tony Escapa. So, man, this good stuff right here. All right, the next one is, and many of you probably already have this video, this is a classic right here. Giovanni Hidalgo, Conga Virtuoso. I'm a big DVD guy when it comes to videos and collecting. I enjoy it. I haven't purchased as many recently, but if you're gonna have one, that's the one. Well, I don't want to say that. They're all good. They're all good. But this is one of the most popular ones. Conga Virtuoso has, and then there's another one where he's with Changuito. These videos have literally educated conga players all over the world for several years now. And this video is awesome. What a treasure. What a gem. Giovanni Hidalgo. There's also a performance in there with Raul Ricao. There's a special from another video that Warner Brothers, I'm sorry, not Warner Brothers, sorry, Alfred, that Alfred produced. I believe Alfred with Warner Brothers produced the one that Raul Ricao, the late Raul, is in. So this is a great book. Great book, great DVD, great resource. Some of the stuff that's in here is quite advanced, but there's a lot of stuff in here that's not. Just learning, there's a whole section in here where he talks about bomba and plena rhythms. And so every now and then I get asked, people want to learn bomba, they want to learn plena. So that's also in here, as well as the Afro-Cuban rhythms. The next one is featuring Roberto Quintero. Now, Roberto Quintero is a legendary Puerto Rican percussionist with ridiculous skills and a knowledge of the congas that is, this speaks for itself. But it's called Modern Congas, Timbas Modernas Congas. This is techniques, traditions, and applications. Well, in here, they actually talk a lot about salsa and playing within 2/3 or 3/2 son and rumba clave. So he goes in and explains it. And he's in there explaining it with the, and I'm trying to see if he is on here. I don't know if they mention it, but they have several other just, oh man, amazing musicians that are featured in here from Cuba and as well as Puerto Rico, and this is a good one. This is one that I've continued to go back to just to keep my skills sharp. And I don't know if I've recommended it as much, but here I'm recommending it now. Modern Congas, timbas modernas. This is more on the rhythmic side as opposed to technical stuff, palm finger and whatnot. So learn the secrets to playing congas in modern Latin music. Roberto Quintero discusses and demonstrates his masterful approach. Cutting-edge techniques, tumbao patterns and rumba styles, strokes and playing techniques for 2 and 3 congas. So there is some of that in there. All right, so that's a good one. And lastly, for the educational side of things, is supernatural rhythm and grooves. This is more on the rock and contemporary side of things, but it is steeped in the Afro-Cuban tradition. And that is with the late Raul Ricao and Carl Perazo. Now, Raul Ricao passed away not long ago. Has it been 2 years now? He is one of my biggest influences on the congas. There is. I can name many people that have influenced me. But Raul Ricao is definitely at the top. Yeah, and so his playing lives within my playing, and so I mean Santana. So I mean, what else can I say? But Raul Ricao embodies, to me, the mysterious aspect of the conga player. For me, the person that sits and looks has the tradition and has the bigger than just music, but the tradition and the cultural aspect, the bigger than life type persona, and that came through in his playing and in his presence. He definitely had the old soul, if you will, that came through in his playing. And I mean, one of the greatest feel type musicians, conga players. His feel was just ridiculous. His ability to talk on the drums. I could listen to him on the congas by himself for hours, and I have. And then there's Carl Perazo, which is one of my favorite all-time timbali players, and bongoceros, but an amazing conga player himself. And both of these guys can sing. They're amazing just playing by themselves, the two of them. But this is a cool DVD. And if you like Santana, you're going to like this DVD. All right, on to the entertainment side of things. I love having these videos for an educational purpose, to soak in and digest these styles of these players and their practical applications, the way that they take what they know and put it in a musical application, a band setting, but also just to throw something in the DVD and have it playing in the background or just to watch, on the entertainment side of things. The first one that I'm going to pull up here is, since we just spoke about Raul and Carl, is Just Another Day in the Park. Man, this is featuring songs from their first solo CD they did several years ago, produced by Warner Brothers. This was back in 2003. This is amazing, the performances in this video. Great production quality, and like I said, you got the late Raul Ricao on here. Rest in peace, God bless his family. Thank you for sharing him with us, and that's a great DVD. All right, so, and then I have another of my conga heroes here is Paoli Mejias. Man, someone described him as one of the most humble people that you could ever meet, until he gets behind those congas. Then he is a beast. But this dude, who is currently playing for Santana, this is a Blu-ray DVD, actually. And this is the Paoli Mejias de Jazzambia Mi Tambor El Concierto, the concert, the Jazzambia concert. So his Jazzambia, I want to say, is his third CD, a Latin jazz CD. Genius production. And this is a genius production as well. The cinematography on this, the production quality is top notch. If you own a music store, this is a cool thing to have playing in the background as people come in, and they're going to stop and they're going to look and they're going to listen. So this is a great one also, just to soak in the genius that is behind these Puerto Rican musicians in this in this DVD. And it's not just congas; it's the whole on concert that was done in where was this done? I don't remember. It was a live recording. I didn't know if it said where it was. I'm pretty sure it was filmed in Puerto Rico though. So there's some bomba in here. There's some ridiculous plena in here. A lot of Afro-Cuban stuff in here. Oh man, there's a lot of fusion, contemporary Latin jazz, jazz, man, in there. So anyways, that is that. The next one, A Drummer's Dream. This came out a few years back, 2010. So wow, time really flies, doesn't it? 8 years ago. Oh, when I first heard about this, I probably, like a lot of drummers, bothered the company because I was just like, it's not here yet. It's not here yet. I was so excited about it. This is basically a film. This is a film documentary produced by John Walker. It's a John Walker film. It's a film documentary about drummers. So it features 7 drummers who converge in Canada to Nasir Abdul Akabir's drum camp. And basically, you got Dennis Chambers, Giovanni Hidalgo, Horacio El Negro Hernandez, Mike Mangini, Kenward Denard, and Raul Ricao all come together and they talk about their lives, their lives to a certain extent, but as it pertains to drumming, they talk with the students. They show, there's clips from the camp. The cinematography on this thing is amazing. Beautiful drone aerial footage over the rivers and the mountains in this awesome Canadian landscape. It's just, this is gorgeous, man. Drums and nature and passion, man. Dude, this is a cool one. And I mean, it is on the entertainment side of things, but this is very educational. There's stuff in here that they talk about, interviews where they talk about the mind behind the drums, that to me is that's when you start getting into the Jedi, the spiritual mature part of playing. This is the next level thing. This is that's the stuff. You can learn how to play the instrument, but when you learn the mind behind playing the instrument, how to evoke your personality through the instrument, that's when you're starting to talk about being a well-rounded musician. And this is a great addition to that. So, A Drummer's Dream, a John Walker film. You can go to adrummersdream.com, or it's probably on Amazon, but I would say still see if that website is up, A Drummer's Dream, and support them directly. All right, so what's next on the entertainment side of things? Oh, yeah, let's see what we got here. It's my guy again, Luis Conte, the Latin Jazz Trio. Luis Conte, David Garfield on piano, and David Carpenter on bass. This is a cool DVD. I just think this is a really neat DVD. It showcases some amazing solos by all of the musicians and amazing playing. Some top-notch production as far as the acoustics. There is one part of the song where you can't hear the vocals as well when Luis is singing, but outside of that, even so, the song is so beautiful. The piano playing is so amazing that it's just, I'm like still so happy to have it. So this is great. My favorite on here is Rumba del Cielo, of course, and then there's another one that I really love. I think it's Song for My Father and Luis Songo. That's great. So that's a good one. All right, Traveling Through Time. Here comes Giovanni and Horacio again. This is a really neat DVD. Showcases the virtuosity of these two drummers, these musicians. These are drummers, and these are musicians, man, to the max. And when you see this DVD, this is just the drums and the congas composing these intricate rhythms, these polyrhythms, these subdivisions that are just, oh man, there's some stuff here in 9/8, there's some stuff in 7, there's some stuff, it's just all over the map that changes, and the metric modulation is off the chain in this video. So that's a good one. That's a cool one. Now, I have a couple DVDs that I also wanted to talk about here that are on the worship side, and that is by Alex Campos. The first one, these are actual live concert DVDs, and the production quality on these DVDs, fantastic. If you don't know who Alex Campos is, man, and you like rock, or you like, because this one here is not fully rock. This is more of a world percussion and rock fusion. But I should say, excuse me, not necessarily just world percussion, but folk music, Latin folk music. But the first one is more on the rock side of things, and that's Te Puedo Sentir. But the thing I love about it is the percussion is quite, it's there, and that's pretty awesome. So this is a great one with lots of beautiful percussion mixed with the contemporary side of things. I think that's important, because when you talk about if playing in the contemporary side, pop or worship, and you're playing in a church and it's not a church that plays Cuban or Latin, any other type of Latin music, then you may be wondering at times, what do I do? Well, it's great to have these examples and see what other people do and glean from that inspiration. My favorite is when he did this one, the acústico, El Sonido del Silencio. Oh, there's some Venezuelan cuatro, some Colombian panpipe playing, or Peruvian, panpipe playing. There's, the joropa, capachos, the maracas, with the harp, and just, this right here, guys, just because if you don't speak Spanish, don't worry about it. Get the DVD and watch it, especially if you play congas or something like that, and you play in church. I am a strong advocate for learning Latin rhythms, whether it be Cuban or whether it be cumbias, or whether it be the conga playing in Afro-Peruvian music and festejo. I'm a big, strong advocate, especially the Cuban form of things and whatnot, because they're congas, and that's where they come from. So they're prioritized in those cultures, in that context. So it's not just a background instrument. So there's a wealth of information that you can grab, and it's just like speaking, or rather it's like a bank account. If there's nothing in the bank account, you can't draw any money out, right? So it's just broadening your horizon, and a lot of these rhythms go very well with contemporary music. Now, Jesus Adrian Romero also has some great DVDs. His percussionist, if you're not familiar with him, I highly recommend you get familiar with him, and his name is Roberto Serrano. And Jesus Adrian Romero takes this beautiful fusion of pop, like a Western American style pop, and rock, but on a softer side of things, and ballads, and then like a Latin style ballad, and then some Latin rhythms. And he melds this together to create this beautiful ambient music that, if you're a percussionist, there's so much information that you can glean from those songs. And then to have the video, there's stuff you'll see that Roberto is doing that, if you just keep watching and watching and watching, and then as you're learning, you'll be able to glean from that and bring that to your set, to your church, to your worship experience. I think that's awesome. So these are a bunch of DVDs and books. Then there's the other side of things. There's the actual song library, and then online library that you should accumulate or may accumulate to listen and educate yourself. So these are just a couple things, because I know if you're getting into this, it can be overwhelming. There's so many educational resources out there. It's almost like, well, where do I start? And if you're anything like me or how I was, you bought a few books and then that book didn't do anything because it was just beyond you, whether it was because your music theory wasn't at a certain level so you couldn't read the music, or it was just too advanced for you. So to find something that works for you, is a blessing. So I wanted to do a video like this where I can just kind of talk about some of the things that worked for me and what's in them that worked for me. So I just threw out a whole lot there. If you have any questions in particular, or you have some feedback, a comment, throw a comment. If you like this video, if it helped, throw a like. on the video and subscribe. Please subscribe to the videos, especially if you want to be up on what's coming in the future, like our Saturday morning percussion tutorials and so on and so forth. All right, guys, love you. God bless you, and see you next time.